Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. I wish you to have a happy Sunday, and of course today is very interesting to look what's gonna happen for a Bitcoin, and that because of course we are very close for a breakout for a triangle here potentially. In case this is a very short wave E, we're gonna see exactly what is the situation. So basically in the live stream yesterday and also in the deep analysis we mentioned that this is not a scary area yet. We're still looking at a ranging here as a correction, and we might still look for higher. The next zone is this a blue area, of course, where you might start have to worry about it a little bit, because of course we mentioned that it is a confluence with a big expanding flat here that we have, not this one but this one exactly, in confluence and target inside this blue zone. So basically we are probably here looking at a small first expanding flat, but this one is done. I would say we have overshoot it and we're still ranging correctively, and that means of course we might move to the next one, so no need to mention this anymore. Of course the next one is of course on a bigger time frame here, where you can see it on the 4 hours chart, where you might have this big expanding flat with a big blue area here. So basically what I'm talking about here is an A, B in 3 waves, and then moving toward the downside for a wave C. Okay, and this is a big expanding flat, which it might unfold, of course, the bear market that we are looking at it already from here, where we start to see like some exhaustion in this move toward the upside. Some rules are broken inside this impulse. If you remember, we had a lot of issues during this move toward the upside, and we faced a lot of critics about it, that it doesn't seem so much as a good impulse toward the upside, but basically we might get the answers exactly there. So if the price is gonna move down, and we're gonna see of course a massive wave C, it is an expanding flat, definitely wave 2 as a bear market moving for a bull run again, of course, from there, which is in confluence with this, of course, a very stronghold support area here, right, for this target. Yep, so of course you can watch the deep analysis much closer for this. This one, of course, this analysis is for the current price, what it might happen, and of course the indicators. Yeah, how do they support now this analysis? So basically, confirmation for higher is of course invalidation of this triangle by simply taking the wave B here, or even, yeah, let's keep it as a wave B and take it as 118k 200. Why wave B? Because what if this is a part of the wave D still, yeah, and then getting another wave E? So always think a little bit one step ahead. In case, of course, we break this wave B, therefore 118k, that would be a nice indication we're continuing towards this blue zone. In case that we retrace before taking this price, this might be your wave E there, unfolding and moving toward the upside. Based on the time is fine, is everything is fine. Now the 0.23 is not taken yet, but I believe it can be, of course, hopefully that this doesn't turn into a W as a triangle and then having an X and a Y. But however, the X might be reaching the blue zone. And if this happens, yeah, we're gonna have to see what is the reaction after it, because just reaching this blue zone correctively in any way, it can start to unfold something impulsive. So we are in a critical area, guys, a little bit, but still looking for higher in both case scenarios, I would say. Let's of course see what's gonna happen. Now let's turn off everything and start our indicator analysis. So we're gonna start, of course, with RSI. As you can see, the RSI also, guys, this is a script for KG trading. I'm gonna also start to publish this script soon, but I was just testing it for a while before doing so, but it's looking great so far. Everything looks fine. So you can see that the divergence and the convergences for bullish and bearish are set up already automatically there. And you can see that you have kind of like a divergence here for the bearish, right? And we see, of course, this movements toward the downside on the 1 hour chart. However, of course, because based on Elliott wave, we might be here in a triangle. I'm still expecting for higher on the 1 hour chart. Also on the 15-minute chart, we see also the divergence here for the bearish, right? And we can see, of course, that as this has unfolded the wave E. Let me just show you exactly what do we mean here. So from this price to the top here, you see a divergence, meaning a little bit of bearish is not very strong. You can see it already from the line exactly here. So I would say for the bullish, I don't see yet very clear a signal that we move toward the upside. Potentially, we might have one more leg, okay? And that because with this one more leg, if the RSI moves down here, we might create a bullish divergence, okay? Meaning this wave E, if this wave E is gonna move down here without reaching the low, the RSI might move down, taking this low exactly, which, sorry, even this low here from there, okay, from this price here. You can see, of course, a divergence that it might unfold, and this might be, of course, the continuation toward the upside. So potentially one more small low here for wave E is very potential on the 15-minute chart. On the 4 hours chart, we don't see any really serious bearish. We see, of course, that the price is still above the bought area, right? And still ranging above the line, above the 70%. And it might, of course, get a little bit higher again. I doubt that we're gonna get higher with the RSI, but I think it's gonna move for higher a little bit here, creating also a bearish divergence. Okay, so once we get this high, remember the blue zone area. Let me show you. This one, blue zone area, very strong divergence on the 4 hours chart, breaking down. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting as the highest possibility for the RSI here, showing very nice price. And yeah, basically that's it. Now those green line are just follow up for the bullish, okay, follow up by the bullish divergence given from here. Okay, starting from here, you can see some divergence between the price. Let me show you exactly this exactly you see here, and you see the divergence for the bullish, okay, showing a kind of like a divergence and moving toward the upside. Exactly, this is the follow up that you see here, of course, for this bullish as dotted lines. Just to introduce you, of course, for this indicator, in case, of course, you're gonna use it later on. That was it for the RSI. I would say for the weekly as well. Well, for the weekly, yeah, we can see a very red signals. Now, of course, those red signals are indication for the corrections here, right? Still nothing yet serious so much, but look at this. This one is a big one, right? And I believe that once we enter the weekly here inside the bought area, as you can see, it's a big trend here. You still have a little bit potentially to move higher, okay, which is again the blue zone. And if you see it in confluence with the price here, you can see that taken from there, it's a huge bearish divergence. Yeah, meaning a little bit more higher. I believe it's gonna, of course, unfold something very massive towards the downside, guys. We have to be careful. I'm not gonna confirm it, of course, only based on the price action there, but the possibility is very high, okay, to move down after this one more high, guys. So yeah, it's better, of course, to be careful with it. RSI is very important, showing a very important and crucial, I would say, crucial signals, right? So the MACD, let's see the MACD. So let's start with the weekly on the MACD. Now the MACD on the weekly, of course, it is showing some green. It's showing also that the MACD line and the signal line are open and still looking for higher. And we are in a green momentum, but to mention is that look at the momentum from the previous move toward the upside here is, of course, much more higher than the current momentum on the weekly. Okay, and when the momentum start to shrink down, okay, so you have to expect something that it might ends up with a little bit more higher prices as well. Okay, so we don't see yet like very bullish, I would say. I mean, of course it is open. You can have one more candle, maybe one more week candle, and start to see the light green, and the light green is a start of the bearish. Okay, so this is a very also important. On the daily, I would say, yeah, very important. We are over the overbought area on the daily, which is also, you know, Bitcoin. When you have here also with the RSI over the bought area, is very also important for the MACD as well to check in confluence. We see, of course, that the daily still open. The momentum is increasing, but did not reach yet, of course, the previous momentum, and this thing is starting, of course, to a little bit lose it, but lose the momentum. But I, of course, I still believe that higher prices is gonna be given. But we have to be careful that this might not like endure, right? So far, yeah. Despite that, the things are very green here. We might start to see the light green very soon after, of course, getting higher prices a little bit more. On the 4 hour chart, well, yeah, very interesting. We have a bearish cross. We have the momentum is higher. Yeah, that is interesting on the 4 hour chart. The momentum is higher than before. I know that the bearish cross means something very bearish can be, of course, but we still not sure. Yeah, we're still not sure. It can be fake, and it might turn again toward the upside after this triangle here. Okay, we're gonna see this closer on the 1 hour chart for the MACD. Well, very interesting because we see right now like the momentum is very slow. But however, we cannot judge this on a weekend, right? Range for the 1 hour chart, so understandable. But the bearish momentum is of course increasing. However, a bullish cross now on the 1 hour chart is a very potential to continue toward the upside. Of course, if this triangle is broken soon, we're gonna see, of course, a little bit of momentum moving toward the upside for higher prices a little bit for the blue zone. Very interesting. Again, on the 15-minute chart as well, we see, of course, the momentum of the bearish is done, shrinking down as well, and then moving toward the upside, very close to break the triangle, right? So we're gonna see this together today, I think. Yep, so basically this is for MACD. Let's see the next signals, which is, of course, KGT here. So on KGT, on the very low micro level with this triangle that we are looking at, A, B, C, D, and E, potentially finished. And here we go, we see something very high unfolding right now, actually, knowing that the bearish signals, yeah, has been given over there, and they are invalidated right now and during the video. Okay, it is invalidated, meaning kind of like confirmation, of course, to move for higher here. So basically KGT shows already invalidation of bearish. You would like to see simply the price continue towards the downside and not breaking this signal taken from there. Okay, so we saw the broken price action here. In case that we are on the 3 minute chart here, yep, so okay, that is a sell signal definitely and a bearish signal. However, we don't see yet the bullish, but I see already very clear divergence with this triangle. I'm gonna show you the signals, of course, with a little bit lower strands. Here we go. So you can see that you have a bullish signal here taken, of course, from this low. And if you take the divergence from there, you see, of course, a very clear divergence for the bullish. Currently, this bearish signal is there, but look at the price is moving toward the upside to invalidate, of course, this bearish signal, which is, of course, much more higher potential for the bullish here, right? The less powerful signal, the higher you get. Yeah, so this is a divergence that I'm talking about at the 200 strengths, which is, of course, not bad strengths here we're talking about. Yeah, to over 200 is a very interesting one as well. So here we go, having power and moving towards the upside. Very interesting for the KGT as well, showing some strength toward the upside. And here we go, we move for a higher. The last indicator that I would show here is, of course, the Bollinger Band. Sorry, not the Bollinger Band, the volume. Actually, the volume showing also very interesting price, showing that this exactly the highest amount of volume given in your wave 3, and that means we are looking for a wave 4 right now. We are expecting another amount of volume moving toward the upside. However, the volume should not, of course, exceed the wave 3, and that because it is a wave 5 unfolding toward the upside. So yeah, very interesting as well for the volume on the 4 hours chart. I would say it is the same. It's looking perfect. This is your wave 3 exactly here. You are looking at, this is your wave 4. You are expecting also another high volume here for a wave 5 that it doesn't exceed this volume, previous one for wave 3. That was it for Bitcoin. Obviously, guys, we're moving towards the upside. We're moving towards the blue box, of course, and it is a very, very interesting to watch even the internal blue box inside it, which is in much more precision. So be careful. 120K is a very, very crucial price. Plus, it is in confluence with a very alternative scenario here. Let me show you. 120K as an A, B, and a C. Let me turn on again this. Here we go. Guys, this is an A triangle, wave B, wave C. Currently you are 1, 2, 3 as the volume shows. Wave 4, wave 5, hitting 120K, moving towards the downside, finishing 3 waves up after 3 waves down, potentially, or even with it, you're gonna finish a big W, X, and a Y 3 ways up, which is in confluence, again in a bigger overview, A, B, and a C toward the downside. Very, very systematical price action, I would say. I would say it is beautiful for Elliott wave. I love it, but yeah. So we have to be careful, guys. It might be very red after it. All right, happy Sunday again. See you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.